Hey there. Welcome to On the Edge. I'm your host, Matthew Wexler, and you are watching Edge Media Network, your go-to source for LGBTQ news and entertainment. On the Edge brings together our favorite movers, shakers, tastemakers from the LGBTQ community and our allies. Today, I have to admit, I am super excited. We are stepping out for spring. Spring has come. I am shoe obsessed, and I have been scrolling around the internet, specifically on Instagram, looking for spring shoes. And I stumbled across one particular shoe that caught my eye, and I went down the shoe rabbit hole. Let's take a look. Look at that shoe. I was amazed at this gorgeous patina of this shoe. It looks like it's hand painted. There's some kind of an inscription. I don't know if it's from the Book of Kells or a letter from my mother. I have no idea what's going on, but I just found it so absolutely stunning and unique. Came to learn that it's from a company called Q by QS. So I went digging around. We reached out to Que Shebley, the company's creative director and founder, and we have him with us today to talk about his innovation and designs for Q by QS. Before we bring him on, let's take an insider's look at the brand. It's so gorgeous. My heart was sort of beating. I'm not super crafty. At the beginning of the pandemic, I tried to make coasters with some supplies from my local craft store, and that's about as far as I got. But watching that video, perhaps it's the music that's so undulating and beautiful, just makes me want to go out and try to make a pair of shoes. I don't know how to do that, but we have Q with us today. Let's bring him on. Que Shebley from Q by QS. Hey, Q.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely welcome. I have a million questions for you. As I said, I'm seriously a shoe guy, and I've been craving putting on shoes because I've basically been inside for the past year, and now I feel like I actually can get dressed and go out somewhere.
Right.
So
You
tell
and
me,
everybody. Yeah.
yeah, right. Before we get into the specifics of your brand, I'm curious in terms of your background and sort of creative inspiration. I understand that both of your parents are artisans as well, so I imagine you inherited some of that.
Yeah. So my parents are I guess you could say the immigrants. That worked from the grounds up. They're simple people, but they were good at what they did. My father, I guess, I would believe is the one that I took a little bit more from. He used to have some shoe shops in the MENA region in the Gulf, and he specialized in specialty leathers. So he would import a lot of different shoes and slippers from Italy and different parts of the world, and then he would sell them in the MENA region, both in his shops and other suppliers. And then my mother worked in a small jewelry shop and she specialized in gold and working with different customizations of pieces. So I believe a little bit maybe of the background of being around them, being around this type of environment, inspired me to later on be specifically get into shoes. I believe that's a little bit more from my father's side.
Yeah, yeah. So your family immigrated to Detroit, right? Which is
Yeah.
historically a city of innovation. Did you go to fashion school, or at what point did you sort of formalize your training in terms of taking a passion and turning it into something that could really be a career?
Yeah. So, I've always had the idea of, working in the fashion industry. I just was not sure of how far do I want to take it. Do I work on the business part? Do I want to work on the technical part? So I decided to, I did get my degree in fashion design from Chicago. And I went to the IADT. And from there, I worked with several small brands, internshipping, and then I worked with a couple of different other private brands as well. So I did professionally get my degree, but really my passion and working through it has been at least for over 10 years. I like to kind of, I always love the idea of building something from scratch, just having an idea in my head and figuring out how to create it. And I believe fashion kind of took my interest because I saw it as something that you can really represent not just your ideas, but your personality through it. So I guess that's kind of the route that I went towards more towards the
Right,
fashion industry.
right. We have a few terrific images from your brand. These are some lifestyle shots, and we'll look at some specific designs in a little bit. But as we check these out, I'm curious, from your studies, how you then sort of focused your vision into. I mean, you do design a broader collection, but the focus seems to be on shoes and mainly geared towards menswear, but not exclusively. So
Yeah.
all of the things kind of floating around in your creative mind, how did you sort of settle in on that as a particular focus?
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. It's kind of the tough, war zone in my head that to really uh, pick point what I really want to focus on more. I have a lot of ideas sometimes. Sometimes I just wake up, in the morning, I'm just like, oh my God, I need to, work on these women's shoes. But, I have to keep myself focused. So menswear has really been kind of my interest since the beginning. Before I went to fashion school, but also when I did, study professionally, I focused more a lot on menswear because I always felt that it was an industry that's a little bit neglected. And I say that because I feel it kind of, over the years and over generations, it kept kind of fading away more and more. There's less options. There's less more interest in quality. And I've, nothing against women's wear, of course, but I feel like they have huge amount of options, and men just have these limitations of, what you're supposed to wear or what, is supposed to be simple and clean only. There's not a lot of creativity. There's not a lot of personality. I feel it's very limited in options. So I felt that, it was kind of part of my duty to bring this, to people to make them feel that, hey, there is a lot more options. It's okay to be a lot more creative, in what you wear and bring out your personality.
Yeah, those are two words that really stuck out to me: creativity and personality. And I think that gives us a chance to really talk about the business model. And I mean, I know because I've spent countless hours, not on the clock, but sort of navigating the site, because it really is a playground for the customer who wants to create their own personalized product. So I'd love for you to kind of talk through a little bit of the business model, because I don't know if you've calculated, it seems like there's an infinite number of combinations in terms of the shoe design, the patina, the material, all sorts of stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what I really, really wanted to bring to everybody. I hate the idea of thinking that design should be dictated, and I always say this because I believe we're in, 21st century. It's time for people to really bring in their creativity, to really put in their input of what they wear. It's not just about, what this brand tells me what to wear and what it looks like. Great, they might give me an idea, but I want to be involved in what I wear, in very much in detail. So the business model is created to give you the options to be able to customize your own shoes or bags. And the way it works is that you go on our site, you
Oh my
see
God, I
all
love
these.
that shoe. I'm interrupting you
Yeah.
because I'm obsessed with that
Oh,
shoe.
it's
All right.
okay. Yeah, that's
I
a
have to
beauty.
ask
Yes.
you, like, how it must be some sort of engraving technique, right? So you have the
Yes.
patina, which is the color that's put on. And
Hmm.
then I feel like I totally cut you off, but I'm just so like I
Oh,
want to
that's
be in
okay.
that shoe right now.
It's
How that etching happens.
Yeah, so this is one of our most latest innovations and customization options that we've been creating for probably the past 3 months or so. It's only been launched. So this is laser engraved. And the way we do it is we lay it out basically depending on the shoe style. Right now, it's a little bit limited to the hole cuts and a few other styles. And then we take in these different designs and graphics, and then we create a layout so it can be just engraved just correctly onto the pattern itself, flat. There's actually a small sneak peek video that we did on our Instagram once, and people got really excited because it looks kind of like these robotics, taking control.
Right.
So it puts out the layout, and then once it's all engraved, then it goes into the second process, which is it gets sewn onto the sole, and then the patina is really the final part. So to really bring out the engraving and to really bring out the beauty of the leather.
Right. Where are the shoes made? The workshop, because it looks like just this beautiful sort of crafts person
Yeah.
workshop environment, right?
So all of our products are made in Spain. And they're all handmade by some of the top artisans in the country. Everything is created with we call our master artisans. So for every particular part that is done on a shoe is done by particular artisan, meaning, this artisan has been doing it for over 40 plus years. And this is what he's really good at. So he's really good at cutting specifically the pattern of the leather, for example. And this is all he does. And that's kind of the beauty of it, is that he's so good at doing it. We believe this is the way production should be done. If you're a master at doing your part, you focus on that, and you let your colleague focus on his best part, and that's how we make sure always our product come out immaculate.
It's so beautiful. So they're not swapping jobs, is what you're saying. They're
Yeah.
not showing up for work and they're like, I'm going to sew the leather. I'm
Right,
going to do this. They're like,
right,
yeah, you got to
right.
stay in your lane, right? They got to stay in their
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And that's the old way of doing it. That's the beauty of it, is that we're bringing back the old world craftsmanship, and we're keeping it to stay because we believe these artists are they want to bring out their creativity, but they're always behind the scene. Nobody really knows about them. Nobody knows about their work. We want to bring out their work and show it to the world, and be proud of what we give everybody.
Right. And yet there is this very 21st century technology and sort of business model behind it. So you have these incredible artists in Spain who are doing these centuries old techniques, right? And then somehow you had some UX masterminds creating the website because it's very intuitive. That's why I was kind of half joking, because I really have spent a lot of time on the site creating my fantasy shoes, and it's very intuitive. And so you must have a back end that's able to sort of translate that into something for the consumer.
Yeah, that's been one of my most important goals from the beginning. I've always, since I remember, I've always had the idea of, merging these old world style and these classics with very much 21st century technology. And I feel it's because, you know, I don't want that to go away. Our cultures and heritage and the beauty of these classic silhouettes and designs, I never want them to fade away. At the same time, we're in a modern time, so we need to adapt to how people want to shop and how people should interact with the product itself. So, I wanted to really get exactly what you said, somebody that would go onto our site and really get an experience, not just shop for a product just like every other traditional brand, wear it and move on. I want them to really feel like it's they're being in the process itself, lifelike, in 3D right in front of their face. And after it took us about at least 2 years in development, it took quite a little bit of while to really I was very picky on how I want the experience to be, making it very advanced, yet at the same time trying to make it very lifelike. So it has this very 3D feel to it. I'm sure you saw already. The idea is that you feel like it's right in front of your face. You're creating the shoe right in front of you. You are the artisan. And, it took some time, but we perfected it. A lot of partnerships, a lot of failures and successes, but we got to a point where we're just, it's beautifully done now. Most of the feedback has been really great. People feel that, they love the ideas that they can just kind of tap every part, change it the way, they want right in front of them. And then the better part of it is that when they get it, a lot of times it's kind of like this, wow, this really does look like exactly what I've actually designed.
Yeah.
It's not just this gimmicky, sometimes you see, they say it's too good, it looks too good to be true. We actually get that a lot. People really think that it's okay, there's no way this is what it actually looks like. And then when they get it, it really does look like that. So I'm
Yeah,
really,
it
really
really is.
happy and proud about that.
Experiential for sure, both from the conception from the consumer into kind of getting it into your hands, and then you have a shoe that most likely nobody else will have. Just a reminder for people who are watching, you have any questions for Q, please post those and we can ask him. In the meantime, I thought maybe you can give us some insights in terms of some of the dress shoes that are popular right now, or latest innovations or designs. We have some images from your dress shoe collection and sort of what has inspired you for, I guess you just showed fall 2021. Was that the latest collection that you showed?
Yes, the last collection we did is the fall 2021, and then we're working onto the spring collection, which would be launched in September.
So beautiful.
So right now, some of the most popular ones that we have, the whole cut style of shoes always, which is what you see right now on the screen, is the most popular. The beauty of this one is that it's seamless, as you can see. You don't see seams just like you see on lots of different models of dress shoes. It's just a whole piece cut in one, which is a very rare in production of the shoe styles. One of the most popular one is called the Egyptian. It's been very, very popular since we've launched it, and we actually created a second version of it. The Egyptian is a very special style, close to my heart, honestly. And I say this because it was part of our what we call the culture collection. The culture collection, it's an ongoing collection, actually. It doesn't really end because we constantly build it. And I say this because what we do is we get inspirations from different cultures, and then we start creating these designs because we want to create curiosity. So when someone wears the shoe and sees these details, they really get very curious about the history of it, about the background, and so on. The Egyptian specifically has actually an engraving of an ancient Egyptian symbols and motifs that used to be used back in the Pharaoh times. And people really love that idea when they see it because it looks very, very unique. And basically, as the shoe, it has all these different motifs and symbols on it, and then it's finished off with a beautiful, what we call a museum patina. And it has a very special technique. It's like a sponging technique, and it kind of gives it this very ancient kind of old feel to it. So it looks like really you're wearing a piece of art when you wear it.
That's the one that I said I thought it looked like a letter from my mother, right? It's like, it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually, now we know it's ancient Egypt iconography. And then what about the? We had a shot up earlier of the a casual shoe, like a sneaker, which also has the ability to be customized as well. Those are super
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah,
Really
so
fun for summer.
this is one of the latest innovations and services that we're offering. So we're starting to do some stencil work that's onto the shoes. This is all hand stenciled. And what we're going to be launching pretty soon actually is the ability for the customer to upload their own image, and they're able to see it in real time actually onto the customizer and see how it actually looks like stenciled, and then we produce it for them. This goes back to also the engraving as well. The engraving is going to be optional as well, where somebody can upload their own design, and then we're able
Wow.
to engrave it on the shoe. Of
All
course, it
right.
has some of its limitations, but we're very excited for it because we believe it's going to really bring out all these different ideas we just never thought existed, by people, being very creative.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if I ever get married, I could propose to my husband with a pair of engraved shoes.
Oh yeah, like that.
It's so
That'd be
brilliant.
interesting. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I have a few last things to ask you. You know, our editorial team here at Edge are super tapped into pop culture. Not me so much, but my colleagues are super
Sure.
fun and always know who's trending. And so I asked them, you know, who would you want to see in some of Q by QS's shoes? And they gave me a few names. So we're going to pop up some images, and I would love your inspiration for some of our favorite celebrities who have been in
Sure.
the news lately.
Sure.
Number
I'll try my
one.
best.
All right, let's see. Let's bring them up. Our producer is going to put up the first image. We'll see who we have a look at momentarily. And there we are. Dan Levy. This is
Ah,
easy. All right, this is a good warm up because Dan Levy is very
okay.
stylish as is. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
Schitt's Creek, you know, co-producer, writer, co-star, very talented, great LGBTQ advocate. What would you put Dan in?
For me, I would definitely say something that's like dressy, sporty. I just feel like
Hmm.
he has that feel of kind of like dressed up, tailored with, maybe still a t-shirt under, so it'll be a little bit kind of tailored casual. So I would do like a Oxford, but it would have a sport wedge on it. So kind of have like a dressy slash sporty feel to it. I don't know. I feel like that would suit him pretty well.
Yeah. I was thinking about that actually as I was looking at the breadth of your collection. I don't know that I have mastered this yet, but I do think taking an elevated shoe with casual clothing or vice
Mhm.
versa is a great sort of modern juxtaposition that we're seeing a lot in fashion these days.
Yeah.
Your collection absolutely can go that direction. All right, number two. Let's see who it is. I'm nervous and excited. It's coming up. Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Jean Page, of
Okay.
course, star of
Hmm.
Bridgerton, and fingers crossed, maybe the new James Bond. I admit, if he was only wearing your shoes, I'd be happy with that. But this is, you know, an all ages show, so we're not going to go there. All right.
you know, um, for him, you saying that James Bond style, I believe I don't know, that's the way I see it. I believe like a whole cut dress shoe with our Cuban heel that we've launched very recently. It would give him this very kind of like 1940s feel and look. It's very dressy, but very kind of like gentleman like. I just feel like that would really suit him very well. That Cuban heel has been very popular lately. People really love it. It's with the Cuban heel, it's basically a slightly elevated heel than the regular heel on a dress shoe, basically. So it's a little bit higher, and it just has this very aristocrat kind of feel when you wear
Wow. Well, I'm kind of short, so I should check out the Cuban heel, right?
it.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
that
add
helps
that to
too.
my
That helps
list. I'm
too.
going to add that to my list right now. Cuban
Yeah,
heel.
that
All right.
definitely helps.
Number three. This is the wild card. I'm warning you. Let's
Okay,
see who it
let's see.
is. Wild card's coming up. Hold on.
Okay.
Here he comes. Lil Nas X.
Oh wow.
All
Okay.
right, bit
Huh.
controversial. Montero, call me by your name. Well, you know, Lil
That's
Nas
a
got into
tough
his
one.
own shoe controversy,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, I
all
saw
over the
that.
news. You know, he partnered with, it's actually an art collective here in New York called Mischief, and they produced 666 pairs of these Air Max trainers that had human blood in the heel. I'm assuming that's not in your wheelhouse with your artisans in Spain. No blood.
No. I don't think we're gonna go that route anytime
Right.
soon, though.
But he is super stylish. Here he's outfitted in all of his
He
Gucci
is.
wear. So I think he would probably look great in something from your collection.
He is. He is. I would definitely go with some of our Chelsea sneakers.
Mm,
Those have been pretty popular, and I feel like they work well with his style. But like a patina version, so it's very simple, has a very sleek feel to it. It's basically a Chelsea boot that's created into a sneaker style, so it has a large, white wedge on the bottom, or it can be different colors actually. And then the patina finish kind of gives it like this slight kind of dressy, casual feel to it. Especially our regular patina has this kind of like flow feel to it. It looks like it's this elongated brush strokes. So I
right.
think that would be really interesting for him. He can, dress it up or down. Look pretty good on him.
I think he'd look great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love your advice. I would love, before we let you go, for our, I don't want to say average, for our everyday viewer who's not in the celebrity spotlight and we're finally getting dressed and going out to responsibly socialize. Do you have
Yes.
any sort of fashion or style advice for spring, summer 2021? Like if somebody was going to go to QS and Q by QS and, look for, I'm going to invest in this shoe for the summer. What might you suggest they take a peek at?
Color
Mm,
100%. I think it's a perfect season coming up for to really kind of refresh your wardrobe. Don't be shy about color. Right now, a big trend is the oranges and yellows are really in. We have some really cool sneakers that are for this collection. So I feel like this would be like perfect time to get a colorful sneaker. You can wear it out during the day or night. That's
right,
my big suggestion.
right. Final question. It comes from our viewers. Do the shoes make the man, or does the man make the shoe? That's very
Oh wow,
esoteric or
that is
spiritual
very that's
question.
deep. That's deep. Wow. Okay. Oh wow. Well, I would definitely say the man make the shoe. Especially with our case, you are the person that brings out your personality through the shoe. So, uh, the shoe is only there to complement yourself. So
It's so
that's
true.
what's, yeah.
The authenticity begins within, right? But it doesn't hurt to
Absolutely,
have a great
absolutely,
pair of shoes as well,
for sure. Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Q. It's been great having you. I encourage our readers and our viewers to go to shopqbyqs.com to check out your collection. And we can't wait to see what you have in store for us in the coming months.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And it's been great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Q. There you have it. Q by QS, Q Shebley. How fun. I am going to sign off and go buy some shoes. I hope you feel elevated to inspire your wardrobe. A thoughtfully chosen pair of shoes, or maybe 12 in my case, can really make a huge difference. And of course, if you want to know what our celebrity picks are up to, visit Edge Media Network, where we have the latest news and entertainment every day. You can also sign up for our newsletter, our Fast Five, and we will be in your inbox 7 days a week with the latest LGBTQ news and entertainment. I'm Matthew Wexler, and until next time, live on the edge.